All right, everybody, we are here at the finals of the GenCon 2015 Doomtown Reloaded Marshal event. I'm Zach.
And I'm Tim.
And on the left, we have David Hammond. On the right, we have Nick Glazer.
Now, Zach, this is the finals. This is the final showdown.
This is game 3 of a best-of-3 slog between these two excellent fourth-ring players, Control v. Control. It's been quite the series. And here we are in the final matchup. Both players taking one of the first 2 games, obviously, getting us here to game 3. What are you thinking here, Bones?
It's Control versus Control. We've seen this matchup twice now. It's going to be a good game. It's a heater. David is going to try to get into shootouts, force him, because he thinks he can win shootouts. Nick is going to try to control even harder.
All right, low ball there going to Nick. Again, he's had some very solid fortune this whole series on the low ball end of things.
But his deck is looser.
His deck is looser, which is not...
Oh, an action 1 paralysis mark.
Bugatti. That's what he wants.
That is real good.
Again, for those of you watching that may not know, the objective of the game here, get more control points, which are the blue chips, than your opponent has influence over the town, which are the red chips.
And a Shadow Walk, Zach.
And a Shadow Walk. He's starting off strong on Val.
So it is worth noting David played a Blood Curse, which is also one of the strongest hexes in the game.
But it's no paralysis mark.
I imagine we're going to see... Yeah, there
All right, Leo, which is basically paralysis mark on a stick. Booting Val, who is in town square, going to go ahead and Blood Curse.
On Valeria, it's successful.
And he gets it. Using his ability, going to get a money and the ability to discard a card, draw a card. Such an incredible outfit. All right, Val coming to town square. We could have some action right here.
It's possible, but we're not. He's going to Shadow Walk home before he can do anything. I'm pretty certain.
Shadow Walk basically for the card and the money?
Yeah.
Or the Ghost Rock, per se?
As they say. Unless he plays a job of some sort now.
Now we have a Joker over in David's hand, which is going to do him a lot of good. And by that, I mean just kidding. Going to use Leo here to boot Val. Going to get it. Now, that doesn't really matter so much because Ghost Walk's going to allow him to move on home.
Now he's marking the Brute, trading his outfit.
That way the Brute can't come into the middle if a shootout does happen.
Correct.
Solid play there. Then he can just Shadow Walk home.
I would probably move Travis to town square here. Threaten. That's fine too.
Circle him ranch.
One of the best deeds in the game, Zach.
We've seen it a lot here.
The ability to draw cards is huge.
Yep.
And it's 3 money for 2 income. What more can you want, Zach?
It's a solid card, and it's an 8, which happens to fit inside the structure of this deck.
It's true. So now we got some Doomthink going on here.
Some Doomthink?
Doomthink Reloaded.
Yep.
Steven.
Man.
Talking about
he always just causes problems. 1 money for 3 stud that you ultimately are not going to care about. I think you do, right?
Yeah.
All right, moving Travis town square. That is a block if I've ever seen one. Get Travis in there. If you suffer a casualty, you're saving Val. But I'll say this, if...
Oh, he's putting Valeria in it.
A huge shootout, I think, on both sides, ultimately. It could... One great or bad hand either direction could just be the... Real good. If Nick loses Val here, I think that's an incredible loss for him. What do we got there?
Travis.
Unprepared. Travis going down.
He can't grift anymore. Sad day.
Missed that chance. All right. We have stud 9 against
stud 6. Draw 2.
2, yeah.
Because of unprepared.
Yeah. So really not.
I mean, Nick has a card advantage.
David's advantage, though, is he has a tighter deck, right?
Yes.
So we expect him throughout the course of this series. He's been having better hands in general, even with less cards. So this is probably a pretty even fight, ultimately.
I would call it fairly. The only advantage that Nick has, ultimately, I mean, it is an advantage, but he is seeing all of his cards first.
Yep. All right, we got a full house legal over here on the left. And on the right, legal quad jacks. All right, that's going to be 1 hand rank, which is going to be okay. You can get rid of Travis, basically, if you want to, and send the other folks home.
He's thinking he's got a Hexling in his hand.
Oh, man. Oh, he's doing it.
So he's up by 2 now. Or by 1, I mean.
Oh, wow.
Oh, shoot. Double Hexlingen.
All right, they both flop the Hex Swing. And either way, that's really big, because if David can win that shootout, he can stay in town square, basically, if he wants to.
It's not what you know.
Oh, they're man. Even. This is really good for David because he has 2 guys in the shootout that he really doesn't need. All right. saving Val with old Arnaldo.
This seems really good. Going home, getting out of there.
Yep.
Living to fight another day is what he did there.
And he's getting those cards out of his hand, right? Going to be able to draw more, and that ultimately works. Circle M Ranch going to be taken over by Mr. Stephen Wiles here for a minute.
For exactly that, a minute. I mean, he's got some money there. He might be able to stay around, but I don't think he will.
All right.
So right now, Zach,
back around,
early game,
Annie up
it feels
here.
like Nick has the advantage.
Absolutely, and I feel like this has happened even in all three games ultimately. Cheating 3 of a kind versus Full House.
Cheating
wow.
Full House.
Low ball going to go to David here.
That's what David needed.
Yeah, it's happened a lot in these games where I feel like Nick comes out to the early advantage. In Game 2, David was able to win a pretty important shootout early on to kind of give himself a leg up. And so that was he gave himself an opportunity there. There was a shootout, and it could have been really good. Obviously, Arnold going to be able to save Val there either way, but we'll see how it goes. Blood Curse, here we go.
It's good. It's a good card, Zach.
Stephen Wiles left town.
Yeah.
Which is ultimately fine.
He came in and he owned and he went. Another paralysis mark.
Yeah, that's really good.
Ugh. Blah. That's what I have to say about that, Zach.
Yeah, that is a lot of control.
I'm going to say it, Zach. Paralysis mark, best card in the game.
I don't think too many people can just black and white argue with that. It's at least on the list, right? It's one of the best cards in the game, if not the best.
That being said, Blood Curse, also one of the best cards in the game.
Turns out, if you have 2 or 3 of the best cards in the game in one deck,
you do well.
Things can go well for you. You still have to be a phenomenal player to get to this point, mind you.
Totally. This is not an easy deck to play, I don't think. Doomtown's not an easy game to play.
Nope. Not for the uninitiated. Got that sweet Joker over there. Using his outfit ability to gain a Ghost Rock and draw a card and get that Joker back into his
general
deck.
store. Playing some
general.
goods. Or spells. It's so general.
So
I'm gonna go to the general store and pick up a Hexland or a Paralysis Mark. That's there. I'll buy it from there.
All right, moving over to the general store with Val. Circle M Ranch, here we go. General store, here we go. This is really good. He's got all the hexes this game.
It's not what you want as
if you're David. Yeah. Nick, last game, lost a pretty important early shootout and then really never recovered on his hexes after that. All right. Leo, booting Leo.
Forgetting Arnold. So Arnold cannot trigger his ability to try to save people if somehow he gets into a shootout. That's right.
Very good. The back and forth and balance between these two control decks is just fascinating. Blood Cursing Val there. Triggering his outfit.
I would have Blood Cursed Leo there.
I get the sense these players in the first couple of games there was a little more pauses going on, a little more careful, but I feel like they're both in the flow. They both have kind of seen each other's decks, and it's a really cool element of the game where you're playing best of 3.
Yeah,
and you kind of get a feel.
You get a feel out their deck, see what's up. You know most of the tricks at this point.
So you don't have to consider nearly as many options once you've kind of seen the whole deck play out.
It's like, oh, I know he's not running Phantasm.
Yeah. And when you're watching, I mean, with the low balls and all the cards ultimately end up in the discard pile, so you should get a really good feel for everything.
The majority of the deck.
There should be no surprises at this point.
And if there are, you hit it really well.
Which makes for some really incredible game 3s.
Yeah, no, it's true.
All right, here we go.
Card is bounties. I love that alt art.
It's so good. Is that the alt art?
Mm-hmm.
I've just seen that card so much. I love it. 2 points there.
Nowhere his way to winning.
Nowhere near, though. Nowhere near.
I mean, he's only 3 away.
All right, Arnold coming in for the dance.
I feel like Arnold's the kind of guy that has one of those evil maniacal laughs.
I feel like he's one of the creepiest entities in Gamora.
He's pretty creepy.
That's all I'm saying.
He's pretty creepy.
Let's just say I wouldn't go to that circus.
Yeah, you would. They would trick you.
Yeah. You're right.
Take over your body with a paralysis mark.
That'd be a problem.
Yeah.
It's not where you want to wind up.
It's not, but it's what they do.
All right, so what do you think the path here? I feel like David, given the as a tighter deck and for what worked for him in Game 2, he kind of has to push the tempo a little bit.
Yeah.
And like force Nick into just an uncomfortable turn or shootout.
Yeah. I would say that Nick's deck is more control focused, which means that as the game goes on, it's going to be more in his favor as it gets more.
So you have to create an advantage
early
before he gets set.
Yeah. Like any control deck.
Yeah.
We all know what beats control. Aggression. Until it doesn't.
Until it doesn't.
Arnold just taking a walk, going around town.
Yeah.
Hey, la-di-da-da-da.
And I mean, so this is actually beautiful Doomtown play, right? So Arnold goes to Town Square, Arnold goes to Circle and Ranch, and that forces David to move a dude to Circle Ranch to basically threaten Arnold and also not give Circle and Ranch to your opponent. And now Arnold just goes home, which is where he ultimately wants to be, and David has a guy over at Circle and Ranch. It's just a movement thing, right?
Or Town Square.
Yep. And that's what he's doing, but you're still like forcing movement among your opponent's things, where the brute can't just sit at home anymore. He's got to do some things.
And they're going to sundown.
Yeah. All right, going to draw back up to 5. And you're also, even just with those actions on Arnold's part, you're kind of feeling out what your opponent's going to do.
Yeah, for sure.
And you're spending actions on movement and hope, you get to see whatever, if they're going to make a play or go for something.
And you're also just giving your opponent the opportunity to make mistakes.
Yeah. Which is really easy to do in this game.
Yeah.
All right. 2 pair cheating on the left versus a full house on the right. Now, every indication on these low balls would tell me that Nick's deck is tighter, but that is not what was evidenced in the earlier games. So,
or what we've seen.
I mean, that's ultimately really good for David that he's actually winning some low balls here. I think that's really important.
It's what he needs right now.
And economically, I feel like his deck needs those against this.
I agree wholeheartedly.
He doesn't tend to sit on a lot of money.
No, he spends it. He's a big spender.
And then all of a sudden,
money, he's got a fat stack there. Out of nowhere.
It's not that much money.
I mean, it's more money than I've ever had.
That's not
true. We got some more Think Town going on.
It's a good game. And this first action, so good. What do you do here first? Do you Leo down Arnold?
You just forget him.
Even better. Trigger your ability?
Mm-hmm.
Get a money, draw a card.
Yep.
Who do you forget? He forgot Arnold?
Oh, yeah.
Arnold has been forgot.
He might have forgotten Leo.
I bet you that's actually what he did. Paralysis mark on Leo. With a paralysis mark, which is not ultimately what you want to see going to the discard pile, but he's almost out of deck anyway.
Valeria moved to the general store.
Blood Curse on Valeria.
Got it. The back and forth here is awesome. It's like, I'm going to ask you a question. You're going to answer it. Okay. Let me ask another one. You answer it.
It's a very fragile house that this matchup is built on. One mistake either direction, and it heavily tips.
I mean, that's Doomtown, though, right?
I mean, a lot of times in Doomtown, you're able to make some plays that might not cost you a lot, but could get you an advantage.
Yeah.
And in this case, I feel like even the wrong movement or the wrong hex being used at the wrong time could just be disastrous. I don't know if that's true, but it just feels like that.
I hear you. I totally hear you. Spinning a fat stack here for... Ooh, Giamain.
Wow.
He is awesome. He can allow you to, as a shootout action, attach a hex to him, and then he becomes a stud.
Wow. That seems good, especially if the hex is a shootout action. You know what I mean?
I do know what you mean.
More blood curses.
Blood curse.
7 is so many Ghost Rock for a dude.
He's beefy. He's a beefy dude.
Ooh, here comes that paralysis mark. Now, you have to, so he could do that as a shootout action, technically.
He could.
But maybe he's got something he'd rather do as a shootout
If he does that as it's a noon action, though. Paralysis mark is not a shootout action.
So you want it now, not later. What are good shootout hexes?
Blood Curse.
Noted.
That's probably the best one. I think it's the only one that he's playing. Moving Valeria over to the Carter's Bounties. Probably going to Blood Curse or Paralysis mark someone.
Circle and Ranch really letting David see some cards here on top of his outfit.
It's huge. It is a huge ability.
Yep.
Boom. Brute is booted.
Because ultimately you want as many paralysis marks as you can get to as fast as you possibly can get to them. Yeah. I haven't gone to a fourth ring schooling yet. I've only been dominated by them, so I just assume that's what you want, because every time I see that card, I just start shaking and sweating.
That will happen. It's so good, Zach.
It's just so good.
It's so good. Just making room, moving G to town square, saying, hey, this is my town.
This is my town.
Get out.
David doing a pretty solid job here of owning town square.
Which is huge in this matchup, too.
Yeah. He's just forcing Nick to stay on his side of the board. And I think ultimately...
Another Shadow Walk? Seems good.
Seems all right. That's so many hexes, man.
He needs like 4 copies of Unprepared. And he doesn't run that card. So.
He doesn't?
I mean, Nick does, but David doesn't.
Gotcha.
Paralysis marking Valeria, probably? No, she's got Shadow Walk. That's dumb. I don't know.
Arnold, right? Nope.
Valeria.
There she goes.
Make him use that Shadow Walk.
David just wants to shoot out. I can feel it. That's I think ultimately why I have to be a Sloan player, is that I get uncomfortable the longer a shootout isn't happening. It's like I should be doing something.
We haven't had one this game, have we?
Yeah, we had the early shootout that Travis went down to.
Yeah, because of Stephen Wiles.
Yep. Leo going over to Circle M.
Hanging out over there.
Yep, taking a little vacation. He needs some time off during the stressful year.
I feel like David should just play Stephen Wiles. Just do it.
Does he have it in his hand?
I don't know, but he should.
What's he going to do, though? Go over there, and now's your chance to get Leo. Has Arnold been blanked? No. Leo has. Oh, man. There's some serious action happening here.
Call him out. Do it.
I think you definitely call it Leo, right?
I mean, I don't know. Valeria's going to get pulled in, so you're going to have a blood curse. So you're minus bullets.
But now Travis can come in. Kind of needs to. Although Travis could just call out Leo here. Take Leo and the Brood on. That's the kind of plays, right, where like Travis could call out Leo here, and at worst you're risking Travis, but you could clear some things off the board that matter.
You could.
Or you can bring Travis over to Circle and Ranch for the tango.
Or you can just save Travis.
For when he gets called out and pop him in.
Just save him.
I like the way you think here, Bones.
Just be careful, Zach. Don't be all willy-nilly with your dudes.
Ain't no reason to lose dudes if you don't got to.
Jake coming in, those 3.
All right.
Woof.
All right.
Woof.
So this is the shootout. This is happening.
The classic Moon Clown versus...
the Moon Clown. This is really the situation I think David wants. This is just a chance to get rid of some dudes if you can win the shootout.
Blood cursing Travis. They give him minus 2 bullets.
That seems good.
Successful.
So the question really is unprepared. Now
that's fine.
Is it a boot? Is it a action? Does he have to boot to put the hex on?
No.
I didn't know, because him having a hex here would be very good in the stud race.
I think that he's just going to pass and wait until
it's not in his favor anymore?
Well, until either Valeria joins or he just doesn't do it.
Because you can Shadow Walk in, right?
Mm-hmm. And then you get the next shootout action.
Shadow Walk seems good.
It's a very good hex.
I feel like the hexes really came together ultimately, just as far as like having options for every possible problem.
It's pretty good. It's a very well-rounded mechanic at this point.
Yep. It's cool because a lot of times when you have attachments in a game like this, they can be lackluster, not quite good enough because you're having to invest so many cards into a single person. But
Shadow Walking her in.
I'd say it's working.
So this could easily be the game.
This is absolutely the shootout, right? Although Arnold's still a thing.
Mm-hmm.
But this is the moment David needs. If he's going to win, he needs to win the shootout pretty solidly here. He needs to win
it heartily. Now, does he have a hex he can put on Gia to make her a stud?
Seems important. I don't think he does. 6 with a draw 2, or 6 with a draw 3 if Gia's shooting.
Gia got blood cursed, I'm sure.
Yep. 6-2. 6-2.
6-2.
Versus
6-2? 6-3.
I feel okay about this. This is going to be down the middle. And
you mean the 6-2 is similar to 6-3?
Yeah, and I think David's deck's a little bit tighter, so it's kind of a fair fight. If either player has to cheat here, that could be extremely detrimental.
Now, it's worth noting that David only has what looks like 1 money to me, and his hex is not a hex right now. So he can't hex Leon, and he can't. It's not what you know.
Legal versus legal.
Looks like some Travises are getting discarded here.
Yep. So that's ultimately a tie, even though the queens are higher than the jacks.
Yes.
Hexlingen.
Oh, I forgot Valeria was in there. Oh. I thought that it loses the Hexling. I don't know. I don't know what's happening.
Double Hexlingen. Seen this song and dance before.
Once or twice.
All right. 1 casualty each. Yeah, if you can actually pull off the Hexling in there, that's going to be good for you. Arnold going to save Travis. Arnold's so good. Although, yeah, so Nick's probably going to go home here.
Maybe. He might just go for it.
I mean, he used Arnold to save Travis. I've got to think he's not willing to use that if he's sticking around. Making sure they were tied there, I think.
Yeah, they both went up to the next 2 ranks higher, and whenever you go up, you automatically go to the lowest of that hand rank.
Okay, so it's a true tie. Yeah. Fascinating.
So then it goes to low ball.
Mark Wooten, awesome designer there, giving some input on how that's going to function. Is Nick staying in here? Looks like he's getting that deck ready for some slinging. Here we go.
He's going for it.
Wow. Incredible. I love it.
So he's just drawn 6, straight up.
Would you have used Arnold to save Travis?
Probably.
I feel so nervous about Val here, though.
It's fine.
Just saying. Leo. I'm used to starting Sloan, so I'm super nervous about my person. Oh, 4 of a kind. And it's legal, Tim. It's a legal 4 of a kind.
It's big.
Oh, what is that? What is that?
It's cheating, too.
Oh, man. So what do we have in here? Is he pulling 2 cards and making him draw 2 more?
Yep, and they get aced unless Nick
Oh,
pays
man,
2.
2 dudes getting aced.
Unless he pays 2. He can pay 2 to stop it.
Oh, my gosh. So this could either be like 2 8s, or it could be the worst cards you could ever imagine.
He's paying the 2 money to him, and then now 2 new cards. 10. 2
Beautiful.
Pair. 2 pairs
versus
4 of a kind.
Wow. This is the exact moment I was talking about David needing.
That's so bad for Nick.
Oh, man. Wow. Wild. I mean, that's...
Good game, gentlemen.
That is practically the game.
That is huge.
I mean, it may take a little bit for that to be the game, but like, woo! So I want to go back to what I was saying, which is, do you use Arnold on Val there? Do you stay in that shootout? That seems so risky.
They still both get ace the second round there.
I know, but you go home, right?
You saying save Arnold and then go home? Or save Travis and then go home?
Yeah.
That's fair. I mean, he was only drawing 6 cards, though.
But, I mean, like, what do you have to win there?
The game?
I just don't know. That's tough. Well, that's a good hand.
Legal full house with top 5. Seems good.
Yep. And there's those low balls losing like we saw earlier. That was a wild shootout.
Oh, that's so big.
Incredible. That's the moment you want to be happening right now.
You know what, Zach?
What?
That'll hurt in the morning.
That will hurt. Or it'll hurt when you're rewatching this game a few months later.
The card.
Yeah.
Get it? It's a
I
joke.
do.
Cheating card. It's funny. Avi Klein.
I'll write a note to laugh later.
4 influence. He's back in this game.
I mean, he's not out of the game.
I know.
It's just he
lost a lot of tempo.
He went from what I would say was an advantageous position to not. Very quickly. It's not over. It's just you're behind now when you were ahead.
So you probably forget Arnold here.
You think he can pull out of this?
I think he can.
All right. You forget Arnold. Hard to forget. That was a joke. All right, so he did forget Arnold. Now, Avi, I'm getting to forget. Using his outfit ability? Is that what's happening there? I don't know what's happening. Oh, he actually checked the hex.
He's resolving his hex, yeah.
All right. David having money this game.
Both players having money this game.
Yeah, and I think a big part of this is, in this game in particular, he's really defended his Circle M Ranch in the control of that, which is going to produce extra Ghost Rock, right? In the game that he lost, he just ran out of money and then ran out of dudes, and his opponent choked him down to the ground.
Yeah, that is exactly what happened. And it happens. Just rearranging some things.
Yep.
Booting Valeria to Town Square, looks like. Or booting her over to the general store.
I was going to say, why would she boot? Oh, because she was at Circle M.
Yeah.
Now he's playing the control game.
Welcome to Fourth Ring. Home of the Good Burger.
Welcome to the jungle. Gonna forget Leo here so Leo can't boot someone.
He did it.
Val's a little exposed here. I'm uncomfortable. Gonna play a general store paralysis mark. I can feel it. I can feel it. I feel it, Tim. I don't even know if it's in his hand. I think I see it right there.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, girl.
Who's it going on, though? Leon?
It's going on Val. She's the general store.
It doesn't have to be at the location.
I know, but she's there. It's flavor, man.
That's not what these guys are thinking, Zach. Flavor? Buying a paralysis mark at the general store, Zach?
You've never done that?
No.
I've done that.
Okay. Weird.
Right down the street.
Dollar General. Get your paralysis marks.
Now, I wonder how much, because I imagine this game is actually way closer than I give it credit for after that shootout.
He's got 4 influence.
And I wonder how much losing the shootout affects the momentum and the mindset of where you're at here. Jackson Strike, more money coming at you.
I think that these guys are so they're in the game that they're above that right now.
It's fair.
Nick is unshaken, right? I mean, he's disappointed he lost that shootout.
Yeah.
But I think that he's I got 4 influence. Just hanging out.
Arnold here paying a visit to Mr. Jackson.
Saying hi. What you doing, my land boy?
Yep. And I think it's ultimately a win because you don't really want to go out to Jackson Strike to try to get Arnold at this point.
Well, you really can't.
I know. Unless you have a little shadow walking.
Which David isn't running.
It's good to know. It's the kind of thing you pick up on when you're paying attention. All right. Again, just really, it feels like David's doing to Nick what Nick did to David earlier, which is he won the shootout, he's got control, and now he's taking his deeds, making it where he can't collect Ghost Rock, and he's going to really make it hard for Nick to dig out of this one.
I imagine we're going to see some booting of Gia to Town Square, and then we're going to hit some Sundown.
Yep, because Travis over there, no influence to be spoken for, so even if he booted to go over to Circle M, he's not going to do much. Getting Gia in a better position in Town Square. I like it. Although Gia could go out to Jackson's, make you some money.
I don't think that he needs to do that.
I agree, but it's an option. That's all I'm saying.
Or apply the Flying Pepescus.
Your favorite card in the entire game.
That's not true.
Agreed.
But they're fine.
I think I just like hearing the name.
The Pepescus is interesting because you're playing it over Steven.
Instead of Steven. You could have easily had a Steven there, except for it's going to stay on the board, right?
It is. It's an interesting balance of cards there.
I feel like David has a very different take on this game than I would. Just traditionally speaking, I would probably, just from what I've seen, fall more in the thought school of Nick here versus David making some different choices. I don't know if that's true or not, but it feels like he's just different.
I hear you.
Going to sundown here, drawing cards. Incredibly strong turn there by David. Controlling the board, unquestionably. All right.
Schmorgenborgen.
Nick has that going in his favor here, winning the last couple low balls, getting first action.
Those top 5 cards of David's deck are hot. Every time.
Hot to go.
Ready. Hot to go right now.
Is that Lyle Lovett?
That is Lyle Lovett.
Oh, man. If we can reference that in every game we ever commentate. Back to the game. So, I don't know. You think, I mean, it's not over. There's a lot of influence on Nick's side of the board. It's going to be so hard to work your way out of this. Right? Am I right in thinking that this is like an uphill battle?
You're saying it's an uphill battle for
Nick.
David?
For Nick. Okay. No. I think it's a downhill battle for old David.
I think it's fairly even right now. There has to be 2 more deeds put onto the board before this game is in check, if you will.
It's going to take a while.
That means that Nick has plenty of time to filter through some cards, get some nice, sweet dudes out.
I was going to say, what is your strategy here? Like, are you trying to have low-impact engagements at this point?
Right now, you're trying to stabilize. Whenever you only have 3 dudes on the board,
it's a problem.
You just get controlled.
Yeah. Especially when you have paralysis mark and Leo on the board. You can't do anything.
Yeah.
And forget.
And one of your dudes is Travis.
And one of your dudes is Arnold out at Jackson's.
Yeah, no, it's... So he just has to wait. He has to play the waiting game here. If he wants to...
And hope that David can't just force it down.
Phantasm is huge here.
He's going to be able to move guys around,
Phantasm is huge here. So
yeah, he's going to let him force the issue. Real quick.
He can move Travis to his home. Or Leon to his home, I mean. And then move Avi to Town Square.
Is that a Tix?
It's a Tix Sour Glenek.
Kind of having to play that there because of the Phantasm, right?
Doesn't hurt.
Having some backup here.
2 stud is pretty good.
So you would move Travis or you would move Avi?
You move Avi.
To get the influence off the board if you can?
Yeah. Because Travis doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I just thought I heard you say Travis.
Anyway. I said Travis. You can move Travis, but Travis is already there.
I got you. And, the reality of Doomtown is that to finish the game off...
Stephen Wiles. Oh, baby.
So instead of... Now he's got both, baby. The reality of Doomtown that I like is that to finish it off, you either have to play deeds here and have enough dudes to keep control of the deeds.
Or just kill everything.
Or you have to get in the shootouts, and the shootouts can always go wrong. So no matter how many dudes you are in the lead, the shootout can go poorly. Blood Curse here. Triggering the outfit, I think. Maybe not. Maybe so. Card draw here on David's side has been incredible. Really just letting him create what we have here. All right, gonna paralysis mark Avi?
No, blood cursing Avi. You paralysis marked her earlier.
Okay, yeah. That's why I booted it, because it was already booted.
Mm-hmm. So Avi is minus influence now.
So what you're saying is that it's close right now.
It needs 1 more deed. Or to kill an influence.
Man, if he plays another deed, that could be brutality. Boom. General store.
Check.
Just the point you need. Check. Gotta do something. That's just brutal for Nick. But at some point it's coming to this. Probably not this soon is what you're hoping. Oh, you got to go into Town Square and get some, right? I hope you can gunsling your way out of this bad boy.
Mm-hmm. What probably is going to happen, Zach? Yeah. I mean,
you really have to go to Town Square and hope for a miracle, right?
Moving over to the general store.
Okay, I like this because now you can call a shootout, force it, and if David boots to join, you're going to be able to play some games here.
Now, it is worth noting that David has control of Carter's bounties, which will let him move someone in without booting.
That seems okay.
It's relevant right now, I think.
All right, here we go. Steven and the Brute coming full force. And I like that a lot. Steven's going to be able to control that D if you win the shootout, and you're still going to be able to move Val out.
I think he's just going to boot the Brute in. Or maybe both of those guys.
The Boot and the Brute? That could be a podcast.
Boot and the Brute. That is a podcast, if I've ever heard one.
All right, we got the Brute and...
the Flying Popescus.
The Popescus.
And Valeria Batten.
Versus Tix and Travis. Beautiful. And it all's... Oh, there he is, booting Steven in. Beautiful, beautiful move, because now Steven can still move if you need him to. And
he probably will. I don't know, man. This is so...
So the tale of this tale is that it's going to go down in the general store.
The tale of the tale.
Man, and David's deck is tighter. He's got the better draw. Nick really, hopefully, has some cheating penalty cards in hand. Some magic up in there, and also just the best 5 cards on the top of this shuffle you've ever seen.
It's true, but I mean, if you're David, you're not cheating.
That is correct.
You just can't. You can't do it.
I mean, maybe you have to, though.
No, you don't. You're drawing 10 cards.
You never cheat. That's the rule. If I've learned anything in Doomtown, it's don't cheat. Cheaters lose.
You cheat when you have to, obviously. You just when you cheat in 4 of a kind and a pair. Like, you just do it. But...
Getting rid of a queen there. Let's see what he's got.
David has so many cards in this game.
He has all the cards, man.
So many cards.
Oh, 6 pair. Not going to be it. I feel like this might be the end.
Yeah. To a
legal full house. All right.
Legal 4 of a kind.
Huge congrats to David on winning this tournament. A great series of 3 games. Thank you guys so much for watching all these games. If you enjoyed this content and want to see us do more, check out Covenant subscriptions. You can sign up, automatically receive all your Doomtown packs and Pine boxes, and it lets us keep doing stuff like this. So thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll catch you on our next batch of Doomtown content.
See you guys there.